The international rating agency Moody's has flagged Sri Lanka as being highly vulnerable to tightening financing conditions globally.
Early last week, Sri Lanka witnessed its highest weekly outflow from government securities, amounting to 7.5 billion rupees, as foreigners continued to dispose market bonds. This coincided with rising US Treasury rates. This year alone, foreign net disposable amounted to 47,400 million worth of government securities. Adding to Sri Lanka's woes, the Sri Lanka rupee has depreciated by approximately 4% year-on-date against the US dollar.
Foreigners have returned bonds worth 47,400 million rupees obtained during this year in the last week alone. The government has received bonds worth 7.5 billion rupees. The government attempted to solve the debt problem at least through this. That too has become unsuccessful. We know the bond scam. It is not a surprise that the economy of the country is failing in this manner. There is no trust on the economy. They are returning the bonds that they have accepted. It is clear that the government will soon be bankrupt.
Moody's noted that Sri Lanka's debt affordability would weaken further if the cost of new debt continues to rise and stay at these elevated levels for a lengthy period. Global Chief Economist, Managing Director of the Economist Intelligence Unit based in Singapore, Simon Baptist says there is a serious risk in the Sri Lankan economy such as Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Indonesia and Vietnam are likely to be among those affected by a faster hike in interest rates by the Fed. Sri Lanka's financial liability management, although touted by its fashion designer turned finance minister as being robust, attracts negativity from experts who differ and say it is indeed a weakness. Former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake says there was no need to have international rating agencies point out the obvious, since Ministry of Finance and Treasury officials should have seen the writing on the wall a long time ago.
You don't need a Moody's to be telling us that there's a vulnerability. We should be knowing it by ourselves. And who is held responsible for this? Today, the reality is being coming across at the moment. Now, how could this be the case when you have foreign inflows, which they say is about the central bank is the one who's saying there's $9.8 billion in reserve. So you can't be having your reserves increasing and the rupee depreciating. So there's something obviously wrong.